some bold second half predictions. Let's play ball. Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Leading Off. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. That, of course, is Dinger Dan Harris, and it's you, and we got a fresh start to the season. The All-Star game is behind us. Baseball tonight, at least one game, with one of the classic rivalries between the Yankees and Red Sox, and we've got a call-up to talk about, some bold predictions. We got a lot of fun. Today is a fun day of talking shop, talking baseball, and hopefully you're joining us here on the YouTube channel at Fantasy Pros MLB as well. Dinger Dan, you got one more show here with me before you got a 3-day weekend ahead of you. Look at you, just taking some time to yourself. I like that. So how are you, my friend? And are you ready for the stretch run?
I am. This has rejuvenated me, Joe. The couple of days off. And what's funny is, if I'm being completely honest with everyone, I usually don't enjoy the few days without baseball because I think, what am I going to do every night? Like every night, it's just like, well, there's baseball on. I can flip around. But this year, for some reason, like the home run derby was fantastic.
Yeah.
But the All-Star game was great. Just having a couple of days off has been really good. And I like that there's only one game tonight. Like, I will sit here and watch a single baseball game without flipping around. Like, I'm in favor. I feel good. I'm so ready to crush the second half.
Well, you're going to get 6 hours of Yankees Red Sox tonight. You
always know that's fair. Yeah.
So you're going to get basically an East Coast and a West Coast game. You can always count on that. First of all, let's talk about those Red Sox because they have a call-up. Jarren Duran, finally. We've been telling you for weeks and weeks to stash this guy. At some point, he would be up. This is a smart move. Good timing by the Red Sox. 15 home runs for him with 12 stolen bases, 270, 365, 561 slash with a 926 OPS. Pretty good numbers. If you are in a league where you lost Acuna and somehow Jarren Duran is out there, go get him because I'm not saying he's going to be Acuna, but the problem is in roto formats, you've lost power speed combination. So I think that you got to think, okay, can I get a couple good months here out of Jarren Duran in those two categories? And if the answer is yes, then all of a sudden that's a nice kind of patchwork job. But Jarren Duran, a nice left-handed swing, really athletic kid, fun to watch, and I think is going to hopefully make an impact here for the Red Sox. And the Red Sox organization, I wouldn't say is super deep in terms of prospects, so they kind of need this one to hit, I feel like, and literally and figuratively. Your thoughts on Duran, what you've seen so far, and what your expectations are for him rest of season?
There's nothing not to like about what he's done this year for sure. And he has been a big prospect and everybody's been really excited about him. He's obviously, you mentioned his numbers. The one, I hate to throw cold water, especially with Tuma joining us live, I can see in the chat. And God help me if I say something negative about Duran here while Tuma's around. But we've seen the vast majority of prospects come up this year and struggle. Kelnick. Wander Franco's not exactly lighting it up right now in front, right? Franco's as can't miss as again. So for me, like he is 24% rostered. I just looked up so that number needs to go up by 76%.
It will
he needs
double
to be 100%
by tomorrow.
Well, it probably won't, just because, Joe, like there are so many players, fantasy managers, who are out of it, right? Who are just like, okay, I made it to the All-Star break.
That's
I'm
a
done.
Very good point. You're very.
By the way, this is when
you're not just a pretty face.
That's true. You can take advantage of a lot of stuff right now in your fantasy leagues because so many people are starting to move to football. If they're not directly in it, it's a grind. A baseball season is a grind to be a successful fantasy baseball manager. So the bottom line, yes, Kelnick at Mayor. We were actually texting about that. Kelnick probably is coming up tomorrow, is my guess. Mm-hmm. But anyway, regardless, the point I'm making is this: as good as any of these guys have been, okay, in AAA this year, we have to remember that they still missed basically an entire year of baseball in 2020. They're all coming up. They're mostly struggling. Maybe that changes a little bit with the crackdown on the sticky stuff. Like maybe that's been a big deal. But for me, I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. You got to roster him, but I'm not thinking I have added a stud to my roster rest of the season or anything like that in a redraft format.
Yeah, look, my expectation, 2 months of the season really left, let's say, basically. If he could steal you 10 bases and hit 8 home runs, tremendous. Like that's a good addition to a roto roster right now for the stretch run. It's all about playing time too, and usually you don't bring up the kids if they're not going to play. And you
Right.
mentioned Kelenic coming back, but we were telling you weeks ago, pick Kelenic back up before he gets called up, because after the All-Star break, he's probably going to be back because he was raking down there in AAA. And guess what? It's exactly what looks like it's going to happen. All right, so Dan and I are going to go through some of the leaderboards right now, and we're going to talk about where we think guys are going to finish. So let's start with batting average. Vladimir Guerrero at the top, hitting 332. Castellanos 331 right behind him. Adam Frazier 330. Michael Brantley 326. Look at my boy Michael Brantley. And Xander Bogaerts at 321. Who wins the respective batting title this year? Who is going to lead the major leagues in average of that group?
I'm gonna go with Vladdy, and it's. I mean, he's leading right now, but there has been Vladdy. We maybe not expected this quite level of dominance, but we expected Vladdy to always be here. He has been fantastic the entire year. I really had his expected batting average. I'm just looking at it right now. It's still 318, so it's not exactly as he's been lucky or anything like that. He's earned this, so I think he's going to wind up winning the entire thing.
Shohei Ohtani leading the major leagues in home runs with 33, Vlad with 28, Tatis with 28, Schwarber with 25, but he's going to miss time. And then, of course,
Right.
Joey Gallo with 24. You want to make a case for somebody else? Or Vlad, Tatis, Ohtani? Where are you going to go with this one?
I'm going to go with
carefully because our Shohei Ohtani Spite store is still open.
I'm well aware. I'm going to go a little bit off the board, not entirely, but I'm actually going to go with Joey Gallo, who, got off to kind of a slow start. We know what he can do, Joe. He can pop off 10, 12 home runs in, 2 weeks if he gets really hot. If he gets traded out of Texas, he goes to a little bit more favorable park. I think he can rake. So again, Ohtani is a huge lead on him right now. 33 is just mind-boggling, but I'm going to go with Gallo to get really hot. That's my pick.
I'm going to go with Vladdy for the average, but I'm going to go with Tatis for the home runs. That's where I'm going to go. Tatis, there's something, it's kind of funny because we touched on this earlier in the year where Tatis having to keep two hands on the bat through the follow through, I think in some ways has kind of elevated his power, because I think what you're seeing there is he's able to really drive the ball a little bit more as opposed to that little long whip swing, which, I understand some guys just feel comfortable letting go of the bat and getting that little bit of that whip action with it. But there's something about the drive when you have your hands on the bat a little bit longer on the follow through, and it's really causing him also to hit down on the ball, which is really driving, which is funny because when you hit down on the ball, you're going to hit harder balls, line drives and things like that, as opposed to hitting under the ball where you're going to pop things up with all this launch angle nonsense. Let's talk about some RBI leaders. Vlad's at the top, 73. Devers at 72. Ohtani at 70. Jose Abreu, for all of the negatives people want to hop, he's fourth in Major League Baseball in RBI with 66. Stop telling me about how terrible Jose Abreu is. I don't want to hear it. Jared Walsh, a surprise, kind of at 65. I'm going to go with Devers here for this one. I like where he's at with this lineup. I like the protection he's at. That's my guy for RBI leader. How about you?
Same. I just think that the Red Sox as a whole, their lineup, it's just fantastic from top to bottom. He's got so many RBI opportunities. He's also, a phenomenal player. And given that he has a little bit of a lead on JD Martinez, I will take him. But if they were tied right now, I'd probably just go with JD. But overall, because Devers is right behind Vladdy with 72, I will go with Devers as well.
Adam Frazier leading the majors in hits with 115, Castellanos 111, Trey Turner 110, my boy Cedric Mullins at 106, and Vladdy at 105. I'm just going to put my heart out there, and my heart is Cedric Mullins. That's where I'm living right now. I love this guy. I love the way he plays. I want more Cedric Mullinses or Mullinsai. I don't know what the plural is, and I don't care. I want more of these guys in baseball. Baseball will be better with more Cedric Mullins. So 106 he is right now. He's only 9 behind, but I think he can finish strong enough to do it. So what are your thoughts? Does Frazier just continue to run away? Who's also very impressive too, let's be honest.
Frazier has been great. And somebody was asking about him in Discord the other day about, where does his trade value go if he gets traded to another, a better team? And it doesn't move that much just because he doesn't have that much power or speed. He's a great ball player. He's hitting for average, everything like that, but doesn't exactly move the needle. I think Mullins is great. I'm hoping that it's Mullins too, just because he's been a wonderful, wonderful thing to watch. But I'm going to go with Trey Turner because I think, look, Trey Turner batting at the top of that lineup, he and Juan Soto, basically, you've got to get Turner on base and you've got to get Soto driving him in if they are going to stay in this race. So I think Turner is going to eke it out. He's 5 behind right now.
How about Whit Merrifield leading the league in steals at 24? Whit Merrifield, by far the most underappreciated, underrated baseball stock that there is. And he is not wasting away in Kansas City, but he's wasting away in Kansas City. I wish he was on a contending team because I don't think people I don't think enough people really watch Whit Merrifield at bats. I don't think they watch a lot of Royals games outside of Kansas City. So I don't think you have a great appreciation for what Merrifield does. And I'm somebody that had Whit Merrifield from day one when he got called up, and then was terrified that this was somehow going to bottom out that year. And it never did. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it still hasn't bottomed out. And I'm just saying to myself, like, we need to enjoy this ride. He's got a team-friendly deal. Whit Merrifield is tremendous. You know what? Whit Merrifield stays on top. How about that? Let's go.
I like it. It's not going to be Adalberto Mondesi, I'll tell you that, because he can't get out of the field. My bad on that one.
Does Mondesi have one?
On the advice of counsel, I declined to answer. I'm going to go with Trey Turner.
Because he did come back again. And he played for like
I think he played a game, and he had one, and then he's done.
Does he have one?
Yeah, to be fair, as Mayor pointed out, I did say that he would lead the league in steals if he stayed healthy rest of the season. But regardless, I will take the L. I'll take the L. Doesn't matter. But I will go here, not with Merrifield, but I will again go with Trey Turner. And I'll tell you the reason why. First of all, I love Merrifield. And again, waffles or greater than zero, which, he used the two different names. I don't see him here today, but he was always teasing me about where I had Merrifield on the trade chart. And I was just like, look, a guy with multi-position eligibility and tons of steal potential, that's valuable in a rotisserie league. But he's up by 5 on Turner. We have also seen Merrifield go through stretches where he's just been like, all right, I'm done stealing right now. I'm not going anywhere anymore. He's 32. So I could see him basically just being like, all right, I'm going to pump the brakes. Definitely a fine choice. I love Merrifield. I hope he does. But for me, I think Turner, I just have this feeling that Turner in the second half is going to be like, all right, well, we got to do something. The only way to stay in the race is for me to go nuts. So I think he's going to win, even though he's down by 5 right now.
Can we get, did someone put it in the chat already? Does Mondesi have 1 stolen base? Is that what he has? Honestly, I want to know what's more insulting to you, the 1 or the 0? Like, I feel like
I got
1
it.
is
Hold
more
on.
insulting.
I'm looking it up right now. He has 1 in 10 games. 1 in 10 games.
How many attempts did he have? He has just the 1.
I'll get there. He has attempted 2 attempts. So not even in. He's got 4 home runs though, so don't worry about it.
That's a weirder. That is even.
And he was batting .361. It's basically the anti-Mondesi season, right? It's like, oh man, fantastic batting average, tons of power, just can't steal any bases. That's what we all predicted from Mondesi.
Oh my goodness! It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being colorful, Dan. That's what it's about.
We can do that.
Being entertainment. Now, in terms of the pitchers. I mean, are you going to make a case for anybody but Jacob deGrom for the ERA title? I mean, he's at 108 right now. Gossman's at 173 and Lynn's at 199. Woodruff at 206. There's some competition there, but I'm still going to just go with deGrom. I mean, it's a shame because nobody's talking about how good Lance Lynn is. And I still say with an open AL Cy Young race, if the White Sox continue to dominate and Lynn's ERA still hovers in that 2 area, I think now is the time to put some money on Lance Lynn for that because I think he's somewhere around the 3-1, 4-1 range. That would be some good return on investment there potentially. What are your thoughts on the ERA title?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be deGrom. Like, if deGrom is healthy, it's foolhardy to pick somebody else. But I will throw a shout out to Kevin Gausman because I do think that Gausman, again, not only does he have a 173 ERA, but when I watched him pitch, I am utterly impressed. His splitter is just dynamite. He's, pitching in a good park, not the elite park that it used to be because of the change a little bit in the dimensions and the wind and everything like that. But Gausman has been fantastic this year. So if deGrom struggles, I would actually probably go with Gausman. But Lynn also, you're right. Lynn has been remarkable. Tremendous. And he's undervalued every year.
Into this year, that was my guy, right? I was like, if you're going to if you're going to hit hitting early, right, in the drafts, Lance Lynn should be your fallback 1 starter because people don't think of him as a 1, but his numbers are 1. So it doesn't matter what other people think. All that matters is what the numbers bear out. The numbers bear that out. It's a great team, good defensive team, upgrade in terms of where he was going to be. Everything was a great situation there. I thought the Lance Lynn move was one of the best moves in the offseason that any team made, and the White Sox have been very cagey. The White Sox are one of the better run organizations in terms of talent evaluation. Look at the talent they've gone through on that roster in terms of scouting, in terms of acquisition. It's been fantastic. All right, strikeouts. Garrett Cole's at 147, deGrom at 146, Wheeler at 145, Trevor Bauer at 137, and then Freddie Peralta at 135. Who's going to win the strikeout crown? This one's tougher. This one's tight.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm not going to go with Peralta because I don't think the innings are going to...
So it's a 3-man race. So Wheeler, deGrom, Cole.
It's a 3-man race. I'm going to go with Wheeler. He's right there. I think with deGrom, my hope, My hope is that the Mets are able to back him off a little bit towards the end of the season if they take a step forward in the division and not have him pitch. They don't have him go a crazy amount of innings anyway. Cole is great, but other than the giant, performance against the Astros, we've seen the strikeouts start to dip a little bit. Wheeler is just going to pitch so many innings at this point. I think the volume of it gets it done. So I'll go with Wheeler here.
Okay, there you go. So before we get to our second half, we're past the halfway point predictions. That is the official title of the segment. I want everybody to know. I want to tell everybody once again about the sponsor of our show, and that is Manscaped and the Lawnmower 4.0. And just in case you needed a visual here on the YouTube channel, and this is again why you subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB, Dan, the hot black foil stamp chrome can be very bright. So if you need to look away, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they open up the Ark and everything comes out of there, and you have to close your eyes. Avert your eyes, because here it is. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my goodness! Look how it catches the light. Look at that. Look how it catches the light, and yet all the hair. It's almost like a lightsaber. It's an incredible tool, and I have been called an incredible tool many times in my career. But this is much higher up on the scale. Once again, if you go to manscaped.com, this 4.0 lawnmower can be yours. All you need to do is use that code leading off. You get 20% off and free shipping. And Mr. Buster's right. Look at it. It is absolutely gorgeous. If we talk about the battery length and how you could jumpstart your car with it, you could also, if you have it in the car and somehow you blow a tire or something like that, you can use this and it'll reflect the light of the oncoming traffic and let everybody know, hey, I had to pull over to the side of the road. So it's safety. It's skin safe technology. It's all of the above. It's got so many features. It's an incredible piece here. And then you turn around the back too. The back is equally as shiny. It's really brilliant. And of course, that long battery life. We talked about the 4K LED light. We talk about all the other great products, the cologne, the ball wipes, the ball deodorant, the ball everything. Go to manscaped.com. Just do it. I mean, we've been here now. It's July. And if you haven't done it already, I'm just questioning your commitment to life. So go there, manscaped.com, 20% off, free shipping. Leading off is the code. Your balls will thank you. All right, Dan, here are my second half, kind of, sort of. We're way past the halfway point, but here, basically, anyway, bowl predictions. I'm going to go with my 5, and then you can give me your thoughts on them. Number 5 for me, Alex Reyes doesn't blow a save all year. How about that? Goes through the rest of the year. Perfect season for Alex Reyes. That's what I want. Juan Soto, number 4. My boy. He's going to finish. Somehow he's going to scratch and claw his way. There will be people who get hurt ahead of him. Juan Soto's going to have a massive finish to the season in the last 2 months and change, and he's going to finish as a top 10 outfielder after all. That's right. It's partially an indictment of the outfield situation, partially how great Juan Soto is. Number 3, and this is bold, Freddie Peralta is going to finish as a top 10 starting pitcher this year. Now, that is asking a lot. You could take all the stats and prove me wrong about this, and you should be terrified. We talked about it on yesterday's show. But Freddie Peralta right now is pitcher number 7. Freddie Peralta, we talked about the strikeouts. I think there will probably be another pitching injury or two somewhere. And Freddie Peralta might be able to just buck the trend. He might be that special, Dan. I think he can finish as a top 10 starter. Jared Kelenic not only gets called up, but rakes the rest of the year. We're almost halfway to that prediction already. And Michael Conforto finishes the season as a top 20 outfielder for the rest of the year. I want a hot streak from Michael Conforto. That's what I want. So what are your thoughts on some of these bold predictions? What do you want to crush me on?
I don't really want to crush you on any of them, frankly. I don't hate any. I mean, Reyes not blowing a save, it's a little fluky, but
it's a lot fluky. Let's be honest.
He's done it. Soto finishing as a top 10 outfielder. 10. I'm just looking up where he is right now.
I think he's at 20. He'd have to go 10 spots. Is he at 20?
Oh no, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing right now. I'm sorry. Let me look at. I know.
I'm almost. I did it for you. He's 20. He's 20 right now.
Oh, he's 20 right now. All right.
So he's got to go up 10 spots. You can go up 10 spots.
It's not even bold.
It's a little bold. It's still got to go 10 spots. Got to leap 10 people. All right.
I don't know why I'm
Freddie P's bold.
Yeah, that's true. Freddie P is definitely bold.
The door.
Freddie P is definitely bold. And again, he's been fantastic, but I don't know if the innings are going to be there, but it's fine. Kelenic, I'm hopeful that you're correct. He is. We've heard rumblings that he's basically all but confirmed that he is coming up. And Conforto is a top 20 outfielder the rest of the season. I don't even think that's that ball because I love it.
He's got money to play for, that guy. He needs to get it together.
He's good. And he's good.
Like,
everybody chill out. Everybody who's mad about him, chill out. He's good. When you have a player like this, who again has no real reason for him to stink, then you expect him to bounce back. That's just how I roll. So I'm not against any of these. That's good, Joe. You've done well.
There's a interesting thought here too about Conforto. Will he lose playing time when JD Davis comes back? Look, JD Davis is not special. I just want to put that out there. JD Davis is a nice player. If you think you're a better team with Jonathan VR playing third base, and I think you are because of his athleticism, because of his defense, yeah, like I kind of feel like JD Davis is the odd man out when he comes back, not Michael Conforto. Michael Conforto has been a steady presence in the middle of this order for years now for the Mets. He just hasn't gotten going. Injuries, timing issues. I think he's a perfect example of a guy that you could basically take the first half, throw it out the window, and let's start new, because I think that's going to be the mindset there. So I've gotten a lot of questions about JD Davis's impact coming back in the last 24 hours. And I'm just going to tell people JD Davis is not, it's not like Mike Schmidt's coming back, for God's sakes. I mean, let's hold the door here. Jeez, let's relax a little bit.
Conforto certainly, and again, Joe is responding to a comment in the YouTube.
I'm responding more to the comments.
I understand
that I've gotten.
But somebody suggested that Conforto could lose playing time because of JD Davis. I will tell you with 100% certainty that is not going to happen. Michael Conforto is going to play every day. Maybe he'll sit against some tough lefties or something, but Conforto's defense, if for no other reason over JD Davis's, is going to keep him in the lineup. Now, JD Davis, I think, is going to find his way into the lineup. If he hits, the Mets need offense. They need to continue hitting. He will probably play some third base with Villar kind of bouncing all over the place. He will relieve Dom Smith in left field at time, especially against lefties. But the Mets are going to now have the benefit of having what they thought they were going to have at the start of the season, which is a lot of depth. So you're going to get a couple of guys who are mainstays in the lineup, and everybody else is going to rotate. Conforto is going to be a mainstay in the lineup. He's not going to lose playing time, and he's going to have a big second half. So I'm with you, Joe. Just want to point that out.
By the way, JD Davis is special as a person, I'm sure. As a player, he's just a Dan Harris is special.
I would also like to do my usual caveat, because we have occasionally gotten feedback on this, especially in the NFL show, which be like, how can you insult these guys? These guys are, and I want to, again, and this is my usual line. JD Davis is better at playing baseball than I will ever be at anything in my entire life. Okay. Just to make it clear, all these guys are the creme de la creme of athletes in the entire world. Okay.
We're judging them against the creme de la creme. So we have to be honest and keep it real. And everybody knows that I'm the king of keeping it real. That's why I have this crown on my head. I'm the king of keeping it real. Prop comedy galore today. I am like a poor man. This is why you subscribe to YouTube. I don't know what people are doing, but I'm like a poor man's carrot top.
I like that you had that at the ready. You were like, I never know.
The crown is always at the
crown.
The crown is always right next to me at all times.
The worst.
But yeah, he's not special in the sense he doesn't move the fantasy needle. He's a good player. He's a nice player in a deeper league. I like JD Davis. I was the dude years ago when JD Davis became a expendable piece on the Astros, where hey, this is a good minor league hitter. He's going to catch on somewhere and be useful. And he was a free square for a couple years. And then people started to catch on to him. And now is he going to keep,
I think he can hit. I think he can hit. He's not a very good fielder. And again, and the Mets and Villar has proven himself to be a guy who is a major contributor.
Makes them a more athletic and run-producing team, which they need to be.
And
especially when you get to the playoffs.
Dom Smith is contributing. So look, in the end, I think what you're going to see is a rotation. JD Davis is going to be much more of a DFS play, I think, than he is going to be a season-long play. But he certainly is not going to affect Michael Conforto.
So. Well, I don't want to run out of time.
Yes,
Dan, give us your 5 bold predictions, and then we'll make our home run calls and get out of here.
All right. I'll start with Cody Bellinger is not going to be a top 20 first baseman rest of season. He's got 90 games over the last 2 years. He has slashed 217, 318, 401 with 16 homers. His barrel percentage in 2019 was 13%. Last year, it was 9.4%. This year, it is 8.5%. His average exit velocity is down by a couple of miles per hour. So he's striking out 27% of the time. There's nothing for me to get optimistic about with Cody Bellinger, other than the fact
that's
that
a lot of negatives. I was waiting for you to say, and he also is the guy that when he parks in a parking space, he goes over the line a little bit so nobody can park in the one next to him.
The problem is, and again, we talked about it, like, where do I have him ranked? Like, I still have him ranked around Starling Marte, just because somewhere in there is a guy who could be a fantasy stud. So I find, but it's bold prediction, so not a top 20 first baseman. Okay, Vidal Brujan, number 4. Vidal Brujan will be a top 5 second baseman. Again, he's second base eligible, so wherever he plays. In rotisserie leagues, okay? Just to make that clear, it's all about speed. Stolen bases matter. It makes no sense to have him up here, not to play, and I get that the Rays are going to Ray. Joey Wendell's been very good, but you look at their lineup, it's like Ji-Man Choi, Kevin Kiermaier always gets hurt. Brett Phillips, you're like, come on, life's going to find a way. They're a game and a half behind the Red Sox. Blue Jays are going to make a run. The Yankees are going to make a run. They have to win. So I think if Brujan is up, he's going to do... Again, these are bold predictions. Stop holding it against me. Number 3, Adolis Garcia, not a top 50 outfielder rest of season. Wow. You know how much I fade Adolis Garcia. Last 35 games, 6 homers, 250 batting average, 32.7% strikeout rate. We knew the league would adjust. He has adjusted back probably even better than I expected, but it's not going to be enough. I do not expect much from him rest of season. Number 2, German Marquez is a top 5 starter rest of season. He is 23rd on pitching on our player rater. 3.36 ERA, by the way. When did that happen? Because like a month ago,
he's the number 1 pitcher over the last 2 weeks of baseball.
It's been amazing. 114 whip, more than a strikeout per inning. Maybe he's going to be traded. They say he won't, but I'll believe that when I see it. Since the start of June, 2.17 ERA, 0.76 whip. 161 batting average against, 202 WOBA against, just been dominant. He's coming into his own. If he gets traded, he's going to just be a monster. Finally, Eugenio Suarez, top 5 third baseman rest of season. His career split 772 OPS in the first half, 827 in the second half. He has been absolutely abysmal this year. He is still on pace for 32 homers and 90 RBI. He's been a little unlucky. I mean, he's got a 175 batting average. His expected batting average is all the way up to 211. That still just means he's been unlucky. And his slugging percentage, 372. His expected slugging percentage, 438. So he's been a little unlucky as the weather continues to get warmer. I think that he's going to really have a big second half here as the Reds make their run. So that's my final bold prediction.
All right, here's a great one from Mike Mayer, our own, who will be joining us on the show tomorrow as my illustrious co-host. Cody Bellinger or Christian Yelich rest of season? Dan Harris?
Fantastic question. I don't really want either, but I will go with Bellinger. And again, it's a bold prediction. Relax. But I mean, we talked about it. I'm so sorry. I can't remember which one of our incredible listeners asked the question about Yelich, but we went through it, Joe. And again, looking at the data, what it really looks like is he's not making great contact when he does put the bat on the ball. And because of that, he's just basically seems like he's trying to walk all the time. He's not swinging just like last year. So I dropped him significantly in this iteration of the trade chart, which should be out now or shortly. He's down pretty far. So I'll go with Bellinger there.
All right, let's get to our home run calls of the night. And if you want to get in the home run calls, there's still plenty of time. You go to fantasypros.com/chat, join Discord, and hang out with us there. The peanuts and the Cracker Jacks are amazing, and the memes of Joe Pisapia are equally amazing, and I appreciate all of them. You know what? I went back and forth with my home run call. I'm going to go back to my initial instinct, and I'm going to go in the bullpen, I think, today. And that's where I'm going to find my home run for Rafael Devers. We got one game to get it right. So give me Devers today in the Yankees-Red Sox matchup. Dan Harris, where are you going for your dinger?
I will go with Aaron Judge. And again, people asked if they could make home run calls for 9-1 game. Sure, so make them in the Discord. That's why we're doing it. I'll go with Aaron Judge. Yeah, I think Jordan Montgomery is starting for the Yankees. I don't know if that's been officially announced, but Eduardo Rodriguez, I'm almost positive, has been officially announced for the Red Sox. So there I will go with Aaron Judge for my home run call.
Other news and notes too: Trevor Bauer's administrative leave out till July 27th. Adam Eaton signs with the Angels. A little bit of depth there. Ryan Mountcastle expected to be in the lineup on Friday. That's good news. Zach Britton, hamstring, expected to return from the IL Thursday. Maybe he gets in the closer mix. Like Zach Britton couldn't close games. We've seen that. Mike Moustakas with that heel is still dealing with pain. That is bad news. But you know, the Reds, they win 8 of their last 10, I think. We kept talking about how the Reds had a run in them at some point. If they could just put all these weird moving pieces together, keep an eye on the Reds here in these first few games coming back and see if this hot streak continues. If so, the Central could get very interesting. And Corey Seager's still not yet ready for a minor league rehab assignment with the hand. But hopefully that means, maybe one more weekend and then maybe next week he goes out there. Let's hope. Let's keep our fingers crossed for good feelings. And that's what we want here. And I'm with you, Dan. I do feel very refreshed. I think we needed the All-Star break spend some more time with our families. You know, we didn't want to travel out to Colorado, but
true.
maybe next year, Fantasy Pros will send us out to wherever the All-Star game is. We'll be leading off live from the All-Star game. Could you imagine a live watch party of Dinger Dan and Joey P at the Home Run Derby? What kind of massive rating that would do? I mean, just huge. Dinger Dan, you got some pull in this Fantasy Pros hierarchy a little bit more than I do. Let's put that on the board next year.
I'll make the official recommendation that's what we do next year. Okay, I cannot guarantee you that it will be.
Where's the All-Star game next year?
I don't know. Somebody drop in the chat. I don't know. Let's see.
All-Star game in 2022. Do they announce? They do announce it the year before.
I'm almost.
Hopefully they won't move it again.
Not NBA All-Star game.
No, MLB.
I don't care about that.
Get it together.
The Dodgers in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. I've been to Dodger Stadium. Have you? It's fun.
I think so. I have not been there. I think that's fun. Right.
They've got you can get a hot dog or you can get a Dodger dog. The difference, the Dodger dog does taste better. I don't know what the difference is. I can only assume it's cocaine or something. I have no idea what the difference is that they put in it. But anybody out there who's been to Dodger Stadium can verify. There's two different kinds of hot dogs, and you get the Dodger dog. That's what you get. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why they have.
Look, man. All I will say is that Citi Field has ruined all other concessions for me, any other ballpark, because Citi Field really rocks.
Field is strong. Philly's pretty good too, but the lines.
Yeah, Philly's good. The Schmitter, that's
Philly's got some good stuff there.
Philly's has some good stuff. Citizens Bank Park, by the way, fantastic.
You know what? Let's just do a ballpark tour. Joe and Dan, 30 parks in 30 days.
I would do it. I love it. Done.
I've been to half of them. I know we're going over.
Wow.
I've been to 15 ballparks, so I got 15 more to go. Maybe.
Okay. I will just say that I've been to Fenway, of course, because I live in New England. Unless you can guarantee me Green Monster or some of the renovated seats, not going, because it is not built for Giants. I cannot, to the point where my entire experience at a Fenway Park game is just saying, oh my God, how long until we get to the half inning so I could stand up so this bar gets off my shin? That is actually my entire experience at a Fenway Park game, absent the renovated seats, like out and right. So anyway, no Fenway for you people, but we'll all do a meetup. How about that?
On that note, that'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. We'll be back again to do it all tomorrow. That'll do it for Dinger Dan and me, Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.